Good evening. It's Melanie Browning here with another Spotlight interview for you today. My guest tonight is none other than the J.D. Allen of Inglewood Films. He'll be jumping on here shortly, and there are a ton of questions that I've been wanting to ask him. And as soon as I put the post up, other people are wanting to ask him questions as well. So I have some questions that other people asked while I put the post up. So if you're joining live, and Musa, hello, thank you for joining live. If you're joining live, please ask any questions, throw them in the chat, throw your support in there as well. But anything that you have for JD, throw it out there, and if he is ready to answer them, then we will address those as well. So thank you for joining us here. We're just waiting for JD to show up. And let's see where he's at. I'm not seeing him yet. But again, J.D. Allen is a filmmaker. And Damar, is that you? Let me know if that's you joining in there. He is a filmmaker from the Salt Lake City, Utah area. And that is where I got to see him as far as different films that he was making there and in the film community. I jumped back into the acting world, and very soon he caught my attention with all of the films that he's working on, all the different projects, and really his personality really jumped out in that, there he is, in that he's very much surrounds himself with a lot of it seems like a lot of very positive people. And so that's one of the aspects that I really enjoyed, seeing how it's not just about him, it's about the different people that he works with. He works with a lot of different people and really lets them shine as well. And so we're going to get into that as well. So let me go ahead and get you on here. All right. We're ready. If you're ready, go ahead and jump on. If not, just let me know. JD!
What up? How you doing?
How are you? I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. How's everything?
Doing well. I'm getting a little bit of static on my end. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, awesome. That's wonderful. A lot of people jumping in here. That's great. I'm encouraging them to ask questions. That's why he speaks different languages. Do you speak different languages? Let's see. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. I know I spoke with you quite a while ago. I think it's been over a year since I got to speak with you in person and invite you on. I know you jumped on for a quick one with David Bianco to promote your film going on. So thank you for doing that as well.
Absolutely. So when was the first time that we met?
The first time I met you in person, we've only met in person once, and that was on the set of Ride of the Shaman. So I was invited to get on there, and being surrounded by all the fabulous people, and there was amazing. And then I saw you, and I was like, should I go talk to him? I want him on the show. Should I go ask him? I don't know. And you're just so approachable and friendly with everyone. I'm like, all right, I better ask now. Like, this is my best chance. And yeah, you were so nice.
Look at us now, we still continuing the bond. I love it. And it's all about just growing and building with people. That's what I definitely try to, stand up to. So
that's awesome. Now, looking through the different things and the things that you've been involved in, I see that you're involved in sports, went professional, and have kind of like that team mentality. Is that something that you grew up with? Where did that come into play? And because it does show in your filmmaking as well.
Absolutely. So when I was a kid, I fell in love with football as a kid, and from there it's just the brotherhood, that just having all these different people around me, I love that. Like, I love the whole brotherhood of football. So after football, basically, like I was trying to find that brotherhood, and with film, I think that's why I love film so much, because I bring people together from everywhere, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of people connect. And they continue to work together, and it's just a whole family, like a brotherhood. That's how I try to keep it on set.
That's what it feels like watching all the reels and being there on a set that you were at too. It definitely has that family vibe there. Is there a particular thing that you found that works that helps promote that? Because I know, especially, just diving into it, but it seems I know you formed Inglewood Films in 2017. I don't know if you had stuff going on before that, but it really feels in that short amount of time that you really do have a really solid, tight group of people that you work with. Was there anything that you like set out in advance that consciously you thought, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, or different lessons that you learned along the way to make sure you have that family vibe on set?
Yes, actually, all I had to do was just be myself. Um,
Mm,
I really believe that. Just be yourself, and I love genuine people. So, like, I have to be genuine and show who I really am, and I think that's what I do. And I think people connect to that, and that's how like so many a good group of people just connect. And yeah, that's what I do. I just be myself. I try to be myself all the time, and just like be vulnerable to people, and people know it's okay for them to talk to me, and that's what I do, and I think that
that's
really helps. Yeah, it really helps in the film world because it's a lot of different people, a lot of different you know backgrounds, and I think it really helps, and people just connects to that. It's like a magnet.
Well, that's great. And that's what's great about that is that you're going to attract that back to you as well, as far as being yourself and allowing that vulnerability allows other people to kind of let their guard down so you can kind of see the true vibe, and then they feel comfortable with you. And I think that's a sign of a really, really good leader, and that you fit that role very well in leading those that are around you. So that's my hats off to you. That's not always the easiest thing to do, especially in like an industry that's kind of known or might have stigma around it for being a lot more cutthroat. So I'm very happy that you're one of those that goes out and really, you're, I don't know, and that's probably a good question as far as, what is it you're wanting to do in the film industry? Is there a specific goal that you're trying to get to, or what is it that drives you as far as film?
Wow, that's a good question. I'm driven by the art. I'm driven by being able to tell like our story, getting our stories out there. Um, because like when I started, I had no idea I could be a filmmaker or a director at that, and be able to write. Like I had no idea growing up, like not even a clue. So my end goal is to be able to create and have people come together and create with each other and continue to build, and basically just have my kids watch me do what I do, and that's my kick out of it. I work hard. I'm not a big talker. Like when it comes to, hey, we got to do this. I do it. Like I basically try to get it done and do it. So my end goal is to build, have a big enough platform, where I could, tell our stories, and that's the end goal. I want to be able to tell our stories. Not worried about the money or anything like that, because if you do it for the right reasons, everything else will fall right in place. So that's my end goal. Continue to build.
That's awesome. That's like I'm getting the comments in here that yeah, you're the hardest working man in business. You're a soft leader, the best soft leader, but freaking hard working man. So yeah, you're getting a lot of love, and it does show that way. And another thing that really stands out to me is that, like when I was chatting with you about, I was throwing a story in there and I was asking about music, and you send me this song that you're in, and it's this, I was just like, wow, what don't you do?
Yeah,
Like,
I seen Musa comment, where can we get this album? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like life, we only have one shot. This is it.
mm,
This is it. So I love speaking to like our youth. So back a long time ago, like I hate performing in front of crowds and stuff like that, but I got a chance to go to schools and talk to kids. So I did music for a while, and yeah, when you was like, hey, send me a song, I was like, oh, I got the perfect song. And CJ actually is the one singing that. Tonight is like a movie. He's actually singing that, and that was yeah, that was a song I did maybe before I even started doing film, and it's talking about movies, like like Tonight is like a movie, and everything that I talk about, like I bring it to life. I don't know what it is. But yeah, like
That's awesome. And that's what, because I don't really do that. I don't ask, I do sometimes in a different platform that I use, but like I don't do that on here. So it's kind of interesting that you're like, I got something for you. Here you go.
perfect.
That's
Hey Musa, I get
wonderful.
that for you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, you're getting to hear the whole thing. It's wonderful.
Bars.
So going into like being able to talk to the kids, is there something that stood out for you as a kid that makes you kind of like really enjoy that? Because I see, you know, what you post as far as the way that you interacted with your kids, that it's just it's a beautiful connection that you have and you really have that tight bond. Is there something that really has driven you to do that? Is that just kind of how you are?
Yo, yeah, I was absolutely driven by something. I wanted that as a kid. I wanted. I wish, like I didn't have anybody like, that was in the NFL or went to college or make movies. So I guess I wish I always had somebody to, like want to be like, and I never had that. So me, like I want to, be able to be that for, my little cousins and my sons and, people around me. Just yeah, that's what honestly, yeah, that's why I'm the father I am because like dang, I wish my dad would have helped me with my homework or um, play fight with me. Like my son, he would cry if I don't. He he was at a point if I didn't play fight with him, he would cry. He would literally cry.
I can see that. I can
He
see
would
that.
cry.
Hey.
Yeah,
I am
yeah,
so impressed by the videos that they do and the athleticism that they have, and just their spirits are just so beautiful and amazing. I've watched videos like way back when they're even tinier, and I'm just like, how
yeah.
in the world?
I don't know, but I try to keep that because we lose that when we're kids. We have that, but as we grow older, we go through life and we lose all that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I try to like like hold that for them as tight as I can. Like I try to like keep that for them as much as I can. So I just love being there for people because honestly, I feel like my life isn't just about me. Like that's how I really feel. You know what I'm saying? So I was always a leader in football.
Ooh, I lost you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me still? There we go. I lost you for a
Yep, I
second. I
care.
don't know if everyone else did, but okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
somebody started calling. My uncle was calling.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to
I want
talk
to
to
be
me.
like, yeah. Well, that's good. And the leadership does show in you. It absolutely does. And that's kind of one of the things when I posted on my personal page that you were going to be on the show, I started getting questions from Cameron. He's like, all right, what's his workout routine? And I'm like, yeah, how many calories does this guy need to consume every day? And dang. And he's like, yeah, what kind of, what are his numbers and all this different stuff. And I mean, if you want to get into that, that'd be awesome. But really the question that I have behind it, what's that?
I'm trying to answer all questions. I'm with it.
All right, we'll get into your routine, but really, and this kind of encompasses us all. We could get into specifically your workout routine because like everyone needs to know how to be able to do that. But also like what is it like, what are your other routines as well? Is it just working out, or are you like, what are the habits that you have to be able to get yourself to do the things that you need to do?
Wow, there it is. You said it. Habits. We're used to bad habits. That's just like how we're built. I think. So I try to personally, mentally, like I always try to create good habits for myself. So every morning, I know every time I tell everybody this, they look at me like I'm crazy, but this is something I do. Every time I brush my teeth, I do 100 squats or 100 calf raises every single time, even if it's 2 or 3 times. If I brush my teeth 2 or 3 times a day, little stuff like that. When I wake up, I try to do 50 push-ups. When I go to sleep, I try to do 50 push-ups. So it's just everything is habits. My metabolism is crazy, so I eat I eat everything. Yeah, I eat everything. Then my boys, yeah, they're just athletic. I think they just see me, like they see
Mm-hmm.
what I do. Like I don't be like, hey, you got to do this. Hey, you got to play football. You got to play this. I'm lucky that they love doing, what they do. Like they take pride in everything they do, and for me, like that feels so good. Like that's what I'm here for, honestly. So yeah, just
That's awesome.
everything good habits. I try to drink a lot of water. I I try to do every week. I try to do 500 or 1,000 push-ups like within like an hour or 2 hours or so. But Damar, he's the workout expert. He's the beast. I just work
Massive.
habits. Yeah, I just work on like habits and stay cut. That's it.
That's awesome. You're doing great, and you know you see it in your boys. Like you could just tell they're thrilled. You can see that the smiles when they're down there doing push-ups. You know, building that up. So you're leading the way, and you're definitely doing it right. And I love the tying it to a habit that you already have, the brushing of your teeth with the squats. Like I like that. I'm like, oh, I do that, and I bet you my youngest will start doing that too. So that's really great tying it to something that you already have a habit in
Yeah.
place for.
Yep.
So
Little.
that's
It's always about the little things that you don't even think about. But like I always say, like my team, like we always say, our kids always watching, like straight up. Even if if parents doing, talking mess about people, like they're watching, then they're gonna start doing that. You know what I'm saying? Every little thing they pay attention to. So I try to do the things that I should be doing. Like I said, like I wish I would have had growing up. I just had this mentality as a kid. I don't know why or how, but I just wanted, I don't know. I just wanted more. So I want them to want.
mm. Well, yeah, and that shows like that was one of my question, like what drives you, and that it just really comes across like you're being driven to be that for other people and to keep going and getting more. So that's amazing and beautiful. Um, Jumping back more into helping others in the industry, what as far as like from a filmmaker point of view and director, what do you think there are some things that people you would like to see more of in the film industry, whether it be in Utah or anywhere else? What kind of habits or thought process would you like to see more when people are coming to either audition or join your crew? What are some tips that you have to share for them from like a director's point of view?
How real do you want to get?
As I mean, people need it. We need to
Oh,
know, like definitely like the better, the deeper, the more raw, the better, really.
man, it's all about egos, man. A lot of people have big egos, and oh, my film is better, and want to compete. Like, you have to collaborate. You got to work with people. Don't be, what I'm saying? Don't be scared to reach out and talk to other filmmakers. That's what I really try to do. Like, I try to work with as many people as possible. Even if I hear people talking mess about my film work, and like I don't care. None of that stuff pays me because it's not real. Like like
I
like
like that. I
yeah,
like that. That's a
it's all
good
about
mindset.
yeah, it's about just working together. Stop competing because it's art. At the end of the day, like this is, I always said this, like it's art. We all have different ways we, paint our brush, and but if we all came together, man, we can get so much done. With Inglewood Films, that's what me, Musa, Lamar, my wife. That's what we like basically try to create. We try to create, give people opportunities. Like that's man, like how can you come up with a story and get all these people involved and y'all tell this beautiful story? Like that's crazy to me. That's like when we were a kid when we used to just think of stuff and what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, who wouldn't want to live like that? Like that's dope. What?
That's the best life ever. That's, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah,
why we're here, right?
yeah. That like that's right? So yeah, I just want to be able to give people an opportunity to do what they love, and I created it because I was like, man, I could do that. Like I think I'm creative enough to do it, and I don't have to wait on nobody. If I want, I could get the team together. Hey, y'all ready? Or they come to me. Hey, I got this script. And like, let's do it. We ain't gotta wait on nobody, and I love that.
Was there something specific? Because I know you said, like with the music, it feels like there was a point where you're like trying to decide what to do. Was there something specific that pushed you toward filmmaking? Was there a script? Was there an idea? Was there a concept? Do you remember anything off the top of your head?
Oh yeah. So as a kid, I used to always draw. Like I was always an artist. I used to draw all the time. I used to draw like funny stories. Like I had a drunk uncle. Like it's horrible. Like so I had a drunk uncle. He used to beat up his girlfriend. Like I used to,
Ooh,
yeah, I used to draw draw that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Draw, but make it funny. And you know, I used to always do stuff like that as a kid. So I used to always love telling stories. But you know, football was my passion. So did that, and then I think in high school I got my first camera. Then I started filming, like doing documentary style, what they do now, like all
Okay.
the time. So I started that in like college. So right before I went to BYU, and my friends used to actually be like, "Oh, you a nerd? What the heck you got a camera for?" Like all the time, right? Like all the time, you like, "Oh, bro, you a dork? What you got a camera for and stuff?"
You're like leading the way, man.
Yeah, and then I was, you know, and then later on, like that same friend, his name is Colin Mayers. If you watching, hey man, I got a script, JD. Hey, I got. I think that's funny. I think that's really really funny. But I used to always love telling stories. Music, it was a way of me telling stories, but I hated performing. Like I hated like
Mm.
but I used to love telling stories, and I used to tell real stories through my music. And then when I start kind of BSing and you know with my stories, that's when I was like, okay, I got to figure something else out because you know. And then I got into film work, music, yep. But I got through it through music. We actually had a music video shot for us in LA. Me, Piero, and this artist out here named Prozik. We all pitched in $3,000 for a music video. We all pitched in. Flew to, oh, we actually drove down to LA, and I watched the whole process of how they shot our music video. And me and Prozik was like, damn, bro, I think we could do this. And then we got a camera, and we shot our first music video to one of our other songs.
I think that's how I saw you first. Maybe not one of your songs, but you did a music video for a friend of mine's band. And I think that's where I first even heard of you.
Really? Yep.
I think so. I'm trying to.
Yep. So that's how I started. Yep. Yep. Me and Prozik did our own music video, and from there we just started building. Because I was always a movie buff, but I didn't know. Like I said, I never knew that I could be a director or make, you know, be in that industry. Because I didn't have nobody to, you know, tell me. But now, I actually like go to schools and be like, hey, I'm a filmmaker. If I could do it, you could do it too. I promise you that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never even had that.
Yeah.
I was right next to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny too, because I saw the video and I was like, number one, my friend's band, I was like, wow, they're really good. The video was done really well. And then when I saw like Inglewood Films come up, it was like the style, it was very professional, even how you presented your name. And then of course Inglewood caught my attention because I grew up right around the corner from there too. So I was like, who are these guys? And that's really like
Really?
the first contact I had with you. Yeah, I'm not with you personally, but with your work that I
You know
know
what
of.
it was?
What's that?
You know what music video it was?
Oh man, see, you're putting me on the spot. It was, oh man, what's the name of the band? I even have them like on my playlist. What's that?
A band? It's
It's
a
a band. That's why I'm trying to.
like a soft rock or something like that.
They're kind of hard rock. Yeah, a little bit hard rock.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm losing it because of the spotlights on me now. But I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you for sure, and I'll throw it in the notes. Yeah, my friend's gonna kill me. But I want to see your guys' video for sure. That's awesome. Like, just the talent is amazing, and really, you know, talent's great, but it's not going to get you there. I believe, like, if you don't have the mindset to keep going, and that's why I love, like, on your profile, you have the hashtag like find a way, I believe it is, and that just really kind of like really sums up, like, yeah, find a way to get it done. And yeah, that's so powerful.
Well, you got to keep yourself around good people, like for real. Like you got to keep yourself around good people because people will tear you up. People will tear your soul out. So you got to stay around real good people. Like that's the key. Like that's what.
But I also like because the mindset, like you said, you know, be yourself, be authentic, and then, you know, let the ego out of it. So when people come at you and they are like throwing that out there, with you not taking personally, which I think so many of us need to do more of. It's like, it's funny because you can watch your ego responding before you really have time to think about it. But if you come back at them and you're not reacting like quickly in the way that they're expecting, and you shift that energy, it's amazing how people can turn around and you can transfer that and create friends out of something that wasn't going to be there. So that's so powerful in and of itself. That's amazing. The doors that you open for so many people and being able to do that is just unbelievable. So that's like, I commend you for not, you know, letting your feelings kind of overpower and overrun you, because that is hard to do. And I wish, like, if anyone could take anything away from this, is just, you know, understand things aren't that personal. And that's just like, look at what you're able to do. Look at, you know, like, just, it's amazing. So
That's another thing I like try to tell my boys. Don't let your emotions overpower you, and that's what we do a lot. Like, we get mad for a split second, and that could be the end of our life. Um,
mm-hmm.
yeah, we gotta think about, yeah, egos, man. Like, it's horrible. I, in Utah, like, it's different. Like, it's weird out here to me, but I love it at the same time. But a lot of people, like, I say it all the time, like, they're super emotional, and they let things get to them where I'll be like, it's not even a big deal. But to me, but I try to understand. But yeah, egos, you gotta put that to the side and just get shit done. You're not gonna get stuff done.
That's awesome. If there was one lesson like that, you know, you're trying to get into your boys or your daughter now too, right? She's almost like a year. Like how?
And months walking everywhere.
Wow, that's just, yeah. Time flies. It's crazy. That's awesome. But if there's one thing that like you only could get one lesson into them, is there anything that jumps out above everything else?
One thing, wow, one thing. I would say like, wow, one thing. I would say, I think I already said it. Honestly, um, get yourself, like, stay around good people. Like, surround yourself with hardworking people, people that wants it, that wants to build. And I don't think I ever said this, like, publicly. But one thing I always do, I try to, like, know the difference, like, figure out the difference quick between being loved and used.
Hmm.
Because that'll save you. That'll save a lot of, like, pain and heartache. So yeah, just know the difference between being loved and used. Because people people will tear you up. So I think that's the biggest. So after that, then you'll be able to get through anything else. You know what I'm saying? Once you figure that out, and like I said, just stay around good people that wants to build. Because if you get the wrong partner or the wrong team, they could easily tear you down, or they could build you up.
That's awesome. And you have built that. You have an amazing team around you, and huge shout out to all of them as well. So yeah, you've done great there. Well, I appreciate your time. I do want to get into what is it that you want people to go check out right now? What is it you have coming up? Where do you want people to focus on what you got going on?
Man, focus on everything Inglewood Films got out. We working on Algia. Actually, I was actually cutting it right now. I'm trying to get to the end so I can get it to our sound guy. Musa messed up a lot of the sound, so I'm trying to fix. Uh, no, we got Algia we're working on right now. I'm in post production. Tarek, he just sent over the visual effects, and it is beautiful. So now I'm
Nice.
trying to get this cut up. We have so much stuff out. We have Behind the Smiles out on Tubi TV. We have
Ooh, I
Side.
haven't seen that one yet.
Oh yeah, check that out. It's about, like I said, everything I do is about telling our stories, and Behind the Smiles is exactly what it sounds like. What we hide, behind our feelings, like behind our emotions, behind social media, what we hide, and that's what that. It's a docu series, and it's pretty dope. I want to
Mm.
start pushing that to really get it out there, but yeah, that's on Tubi TV right now. Behind the Smiles, check that out. We got Sayo, we got the Shoebox starring Damar, and so many other.
Okay, I have a question on that one. I haven't watched the shoebox, even though everything about it looks amazing. Um, how like have you gotten feedback on as far as like trigger warning type stuff? That's my only concern is like I don't know, like how that's why I like that's my confession to you.
Really?
Like it looks so intense. I'm afraid that it might get me to that level that
I mean, that's what film's supposed to. It's supposed to take you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like film that. So the reason I love film is because like when I sit down and watch it, I'm supposed to go somewhere else. I love horror films. I love horror films because like it's supposed to take you somewhere where you can't like usually go. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love
yeah.
horror. And Shoebox is talking about PTSD, but it's talking about real life. It's PTSD before. It doesn't mean you have to go to war to have PTSD. You could, you know, get get abused as a child and have PTSD. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what the Shoebox touches on. It touches on real life stuff. I man, I would say like check it out. Check out the Shoebox.
I know I need to. I know it's like it just look oh
It's hard,
yeah. I need to
but
woman
you
up.
want to go somewhere. You want to
That's true.
up. You want to be emotionally down. Like you want to. That's what film's supposed to do, and that's what like we try to do. We try to take you somewhere else, um, you know, somewhere other than your everyday life, waking up and clocking in, and you know what I'm saying. We try to somewhere else, and we try to be as real as possible. Even like Saya, like it's a sci-fi action film. I came up with it because I was listening to a podcast, and they said, "What is the hardest genre to do?" And on the podcast, they said sci-fi. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, let's do a sci-fi because it was so hard."
That's
And
awesome.
but the fact, Saya, it's about sex trafficking. It's about you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
about those sci-fi, but it's about like sex trafficking and how you know our world is like really jacked up. You know what I'm saying? And it's about finding yourself. So everything we do is a purpose behind it, and I think that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a remake. Like
Yeah. And right now I'm getting called out like hardcore by Tamar. He's like, you haven't watched it? She hasn't watched it. Tisk, tisk. And
yeah,
then yes, Lizbelt, guess what we know what I'm doing tonight.
Liz,
Yes, yes.
Liz watched it. She cried like I don't know how many times.
Oh my
It's
gosh. Okay, I'll get my tissue box out and my
hard.
tennis racket.
So even with like the shoebox, like we try to reach out to like you know military and veterans and you know stuff like that, and yeah, we got some pretty good feedback. A lot of veterans came up to me after watching it when we premiered it at the Utah Film Festival that year. Like a lot of them came up to me and just cried, was like, man, that was the way like we did the story. You said I've never seen a military story did the way that we did it, and that's the whole point of us being able to tell our own stories. So
Yeah.
like that's yeah, he was like a lot of veterans broke down and cried, and a lot of matter of fact, one of the scenes like I had no idea, but it was a military veteran there helping us, and he had to leave the set because he said in the scene I can't tell, I don't want to tell you the scene, but he said
Yeah, don't tell me the scene.
that's exactly what happened to him like a couple
Mm.
times, and he said he had to leave. Like I had no idea, but he had to leave the set and like went to his truck and cried and came back because like he went through it as a you know as a veteran. So
Yeah.
like that's that's why I'm here. Like I thought, football was my reason to get me to Utah. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my card to get to Utah, and then now film. You know, like this is where I'm at, and building with all these people that I should be building with, and you know that's what we're doing. But telling these stories like the shoebox or behind the smiles, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Yeah. And that's honestly like because it comes even in the trailer, you know, that raw emotion, like you can feel it. You can already start to feel it. And that's what kind of scared me. But I've been encouraged to take the full dive. So I will be crying along with all of you that have cried to it.
Yeah, Liz said she wants your feedback after you watch it and new stuff. So there you go.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. I have my homework. So awesome. Everyone else, check out Inglewood Films, everything that they have going on. Absolutely amazing work. And I am so glad you're on here. Thank you so much, JD Allen, for your time. And especially knowing that you don't like going in front of, you know, being on there, being up on the stage. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it so much.
And
And
having me.
thank you to the family for sharing your time. And and all the videos and all the wonderfulness there. You really are a light and shine that positive energy that I love seeing. So thank you so much.
You need it. Like you need it bad. So I try.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Check out JD Allen, follow him, and follow everyone that's working on all this stuff. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank y'all. Peace out. Follow the Inglewood Films.